everyone, my name is Erin. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Stitches and Scribbles podcast. Today I have some finished objects for you, some more whips, and a huge yarn haul to show you. I mentioned this in my last podcast episode, but I actually ended up purchasing a lot of yarn towards the end of the school year that I saved up for multiple podcast episodes to show you. So unfortunately, a lot of the sales that I'll be talking about in the next couple episodes that I purchased yarn from are no longer running, but I thought I would still show you all of the cool stuff that I got and share some of the plans I have for those finished objects. Not finished objects, for the yarn that I'll be using. I do have some finished objects to show you though. The first one that I want to talk about is actually a tutorial on YouTube. I just uploaded the final episode of the tutorial on Wednesday, the Wednesday before this podcast uploads, and that is my patchwork TikTok Harry Styles inspired cardigan. I did make mine quite a bit longer than the original J.W. Anderson cardigan, and I chose a more muted pastel color combination to use. But if you're interested in learning how to knit, crochet, or Tunisian crochet for the first time, I have tutorials for all of my different squares that I used. If you look closely at the cardigan, my blue squares are Tunisian crochet, the gray ones are regular crochet, and the green ones are knit. So if you're looking to learn how to do that with some simple squares, you can check out those videos on my channel. I'm really happy with how the cardigan turned out overall. Like I said, I love long, cozy cardigans, so I think that'll be really nice. Not so much for fall because of the color palette, but like to be an early spring sweater in that like time frame, end of February to like mid-April, where it's still pretty cold out where I live. I live in Wisconsin, so sometimes spring doesn't actually start until May, and sometimes it starts in January. You can never be sure. So I'm hopefully going to get a lot of wear out of that sweater. I chose some lighter weight yarns. Well, not lightweight, but like not fuzzy yarns for some of my squares. The blue and the green were both yarns that I purchased from Lion Brand that have more of a like linen feel. They're not like soft. They're still soft, but they're more of a like structured feel instead of a fuzzy feel. And then the light blue yarn I used is the Feels Like Butter yarn from Lion Brand. So that one's soft and fuzzy. So I like the texture contrast too between all the different knitting stitches. The next finished object I have for you is actually something that I'm going to be doing a call for pattern testers. I am hoping that this will be my first released written pattern on Etsy. But in the meantime, I will be looking for some pattern testers for it. I will be posting on my Instagram, doing a call for those pattern testers and what information I need from you if you would like to sign up. If you do volunteer to be a pattern tester, I will send you the rough copy of the pattern for right now. The pattern is correct, but it's not formatted like how the final one is going to be. But then when the final one is completed, you will receive a final copy of the pattern as well to be yours to keep. But this is my Mirkwood shawl, named after a area in Lord of the Rings, if you're familiar with it. But it is this beautiful triangle shawl. I alternate between linen stitch, which is that kind of almost woven look stitch that we start with, and granny square stitch to give that really cool gradient. The yarn I used for this, I think I showed in the last podcast episode. It's one of the Lion Brand Mandala Baby yarns. I think it was in the colorway called Echo Caves. So it's shades of white, blue, and green. One of my favorite color combinations. This is a very like smoky, woodsy blue-green colorway, which I really love. How it's a baby blanket colorway, I'm not quite sure because it doesn't really look baby blanket-ish to me. But this is the pattern that I will be doing a call for testers for over on my Instagram. So if you're watching this and you're interested in getting the pattern to test it out and let me know how it works, you can head over to Instagram and DM me there. Don't forget to follow as well so that you can see all my other updates. I do need to get a little bit more regular about posting on Instagram. That's usually the place that I forget to post things as often, because I really like making TikToks and I really like making YouTube videos. So I need to up my Instagram game a little bit, especially because that's the one where you can send people messages the most easily. TikTok, you have to be like mutual followers, which I don't necessarily want to do with everybody who follows me on TikTok. And YouTube, obviously, like, you can leave a comment, but that's like a public form of communication. It's not a direct message. So go ahead and over to my Instagram. It's linked in my bio on YouTube. It's still Stitches and Scribbles. There's just a dot or a period between each word, because Stitches and Scribbles, all one word, was already taken on Instagram, so it's the one with the dots in between it. Let's dive into all of my whips. I only have 3 to show you today. One of them is one of the same ones from last week, but I promise I did work on it. I really should start using progress keepers to show how much I've done on projects, but I'm still working on this scrappy shawl that will be a triangle shawl. It doesn't look like one now because it's on circular needles, but I took all of my leftovers in blue and yellow colorways along with this patterned yellow, blue, cream, and red yarn. Most of this is Hobbii Lobby. I love this yarn. I think the blue and the beige at the top are yarns that came with my Centro knitting machine, so they're like unbranded, random acrylic yarns. But the other ones I think are all I love this yarn, because I went through quite a kick of using that for everything for a while just because there's so many colors. So I did make some progress on it, but I still have quite a bit left that I want to use up. I have found that this is a really good, like, serious TV knitting project, and let me know if you're the same way, but there are some shows that I can watch and knit or crochet, whatever. Like, I don't need to 100% pay attention to the show I'm watching, but then there are some shows that, like, require more focus, so I need a knitting project that is less complex. Like, I'm not going to have to write down the stitches I'm using, like if I'm pattern writing or I have the pattern memorized already. So this is definitely a good, like, serious TV project versus, or no, sorry, this is, yeah, I had that right. This is a good serious TV project, but when I'm doing a crochet or knitting project that, like, requires more mental energy, I need to, like, rewatch something that I've already watched. Reading doesn't seem to have the same effect, though. If I'm listening to an audiobook, it kind of doesn't matter what I'm working on. It, like, unless I need to, like, stop to write things down, then that gets kind of challenging. But I'm looking to dive back into some audiobooks, so I need to get on that. I kind of forgot about audiobooks over quarantine, which is kind of odd, but I used to listen to them, like, on the way back and forth to work. So when things shut down and we were working from home, I kind of forgot about audiobooks, and I get most of my audiobooks from the library through Overdrive. That's an app that some libraries have where you can check out audiobooks, just downloading them to your phone. You don't have to, like, go in and get the CDs anymore. But because I wasn't checking out audiobooks as much, and I had a huge stack of books that I was getting as gifts and from little free libraries and stuff like that, I didn't go to the library for most of shutdown. And then this week I tried to log into Overdrive to download an audiobook, and my library card expired. And I had no idea, so I need to go into the library to get it renewed. I also got married since I got my library card, so I need to change my name on the library card, and it's a whole thing. So hopefully I can get that sorted out this week so that I can go back to listening to audiobooks. I love using Audible as well, but Audible only gives you 1 credit a month, and I try not to go over that. And with Audible, I try to only get books that I would be likely to re-listen to. So, like, I have used Audible credits for all of the Harry Potter books, all of the original Percy Jackson books. I don't have all the spin-off series because that'd be a lot of Audible credits. Because I don't want to pay for books on Audible that I'm not going to re-listen to, if that makes sense. So I try to pick ones that, like, I will want to listen to it again, like on a road trip or something. Anyway, that was a really long segue about the scrap shawl that hopefully will be finished sometime in the near future, but probably not because I get very distracted and like working on new projects instead. My next whip, this one comes with a warning. If you are someone who is having a baby soon and I am getting a gift for, please look away. I don't know if you'd be watching this or not, but if you are someone who I buy gifts for, make gifts for, you probably shouldn't be watching this podcast anyway. So this has been your warning. It is time to look away, and you can come back in like 2 minutes. I am working on a baby blanket for a friend who is expecting a baby. So I am using the Bernat baby blanket yarn in the color Man in the Moon, which looks like this. It's a really pretty like minty turquoise, a yellow, a white, and a gray. I have used 2 skeins so far because I started off way too big on this baby blanket. It's definitely going to be more toddler sized, which, you know, is not a bad thing because I'm sure she'll get lots of like little tiny baby things at baby showers. My mom used to say this, especially if you're like not sure what to get somebody for a baby shower, get a couple things that are meant for slightly older kids, so not like newborn clothes, but like 6 to 8 month clothes or like toddler things, because those are going to be things that they need eventually, especially if they're first time parents, that you don't necessarily think to give at a baby shower. So maybe this falls in that category and we won't acknowledge the fact that I just got too excited and made a gigantic baby blanket for no reason. The other thing that I like to do with baby blankets, because as someone who's crafty, you never really know if someone else in that person's family is also crafty. So I would never want to make, you know, the intricate white lace baby blankets only to find out that like grandma or an aunt in that family is like known for making the heirloom baby blankets, and to like have it doubled up. So I try to do, when I'm doing baby blankets for friends or for anybody, I try to do very modern baby blankets, and I usually, when I give the baby blanket, I specifically say this is a stroller blanket or this is a car seat blanket, and that is usually why I make them slightly bigger so that it'll fit either over the car seat or it can be like tucked in the stroller. Just because I don't want to step on someone's toes, and I also don't want to go in and ask like, hey, do you have someone in your family who makes like the fancy baby blankets? Just because that ruins the surprise. So this has kind of been my go-to thing for baby showers, is to make like the fluffy, fuzzy, more modern looking baby blankets and make them a little bit bigger so that they can work for strollers and car seats. But this also means that like they fit up through toddler years. Like this is, I went and got one more skein of yarn because I lost yarn chicken quite spectacularly on this one. So I went and got another skein. So this will be 3 skeins total of the Bernat baby blanket yarn, and my like adult size couch throw that I made with the regular Bernat blanket yarn, I think used 6. So this is like half the size of an adult throw blanket. So it is definitely pretty big, but I hope that the family and little kid coming into the world will like it and think it's fuzzy and comfy. I also know that for like little babies, poking your fingers through things is like a good sensory thing for them. So not quite intentional, but that definitely works with this type of yarn. I'm also using my giant 12 millimeter crochet hook for this, so it was absolutely flying, and I'm just using a half double crochet stitch for that. My last whip is also one that I showed you last week, but this is also going to be eventually a paid for pattern, but I'm still working on it right now. This is just the first practice run of it. I need to hold it up the right way. This is a Tunisian crochet shawl, and I'm striping with 2 different stitches to give kind of that stripe effect. Here, I'll hold it up again so you can get a better look. And it is just an asymmetrical triangle shawl in a really soft yarn that I purchased from Hobbii Lobby, just in gray. Let me see if I have this. This is the Yarntopia yarn in the color anchor, and once I'm done with this, I will have used a total of 3 skeins for it, and each skein is 312 yards. I don't know if the final version of the shawl will use that yarn. I'll probably want to use something else for the photographed version. This one is actually going to go to a friend who requested one. So it'll probably look very different in the final pattern because I will probably use a more patterned yarn for it because of what I chose for the name of that shawl. Anyway, let's move on to my yarn hoarding and the giant haul I have to show you. Most of this haul is from Hobbii, but I do have some things I ordered from Joann first to show you. And actually, let's do the Joann stuff first because that's kind of a sneak peek into a video that will come out hopefully next week, if not the week after. But I am doing a video that I haven't seen anybody else do before, and I know the second I say that, somebody is going to find somebody who did the same thing as me and point it out. But I have created a crochet project based on listening to all of the albums of a specific artist. And I'm not going to tell you who the artist is in this video, but I'm wondering if anybody can guess who it is based off of the colors that I chose. So I chose a different color for each album that this artist has come out with, and I will be listening to that artist's work while crocheting this piece to like experience the music for the first time and give my thoughts on it. So I haven't seen anybody else do that. I definitely haven't seen anybody else do that with this artist. So I'll be curious to see if you can guess who the artist is based on the colors that I picked. All of the yarn that I chose is the Truboo, yeah, that's what it's called, the Truboo yarn from Lion Brands, which is a 100% rayon from bamboo yarn. I got it both. I got some colors in the regular and some in the sparkle version. So I'll show you all the colors I got. This is the first one that I purchased. This is the color Aqua. So it's a really pretty kind of teal blue. It almost matches my shirt today, but not quite. It's definitely more blue than like the minty gray color that I have on. So again, that is the color Aqua. This is a Truboo Sparkle in the color Sugar Cookie. So that is I keep going the wrong way, a lovely kind of almost pinky beige color, and the glitter running through it is like almost green. Yeah, like a holographic green and white glitter going through it. I'm sure the glitter will not actually show up on camera that well, but color Sugar Cookie. Up next, this is another sparkle one in the color Plum. So that is a deep, like pinkish purple kind of magenta with that same greenish white holographic glitter running through it. Very cool color. I really like this one a lot. Next color up is a plain Truboo in the color Slate. So this is a dark gray, almost charcoal color. The Truboo yarn is so soft, you guys. It's definitely one of my favorites right now. I've purchased a couple other colorways for different projects in the last couple months. The next one is also a regular Truboo in the color Scarlet. So a really bright, almost orangey red. It actually kind of matches my nails right now. And those are definitely like coral. So yeah, that one is the color Scarlet. Up next, we have plain Truboo in white. Very creative name, just a solid white there. Then we have another regular Truboo in the color Silver. So this one is not sparkly, but it is a very pretty silvery gray. Nice light gray color, almost white. We have a Truboo Sparkle in the color Star. This is almost the same as the silver that I just showed you, but it has that holographic glitter strand running through it. Nice one. And the final color I have is the color Tan. This is almost the same as the sugar cookie. It just doesn't have the sparkle running through it. So those are all of my colors. Let's see if I can figure out a way to hold them all together. This might not work, guys. I got it. So here's all of the colors. I picked one color for each album that this music artist has written, so that as I'm listening to each album, I will be using just that color on the project to get something big and stripy and soft. So if you have any guesses as to who the artist might be, comment down below to leave your guess. You can like pause the video and see if you can match things, all that stuff. But that will hopefully be coming out very soon. My next haul is, I have to like slide over to grab my giant bag. The next haul is from Hobbii. Hobbii, I think, is actually my favorite yarn company to order from because they have so many unique yarns. They have, I think, the best color combinations in their like multicolored yarn, which I really, really like to see. I took advantage of their Green Week sale, I think is where all of this came from. And I also had points to use up, and I don't know, I got a ton of yarn, you guys. I also want to give Hobbii a shout out because when I originally ordered, my yarn came in like one of those plastic mailing bags, and there were actually 2 things that were missing from my original order. It was one yarn cake that was missing and one of a set of 3 of little like sock yarn skeins. And I could tell that my bag had been like retaped up when it got to me, so clearly it had ripped and those 2 things had fallen out. So I emailed the company and they right away sent replacements, including not only did they send the cake and the individual skein of sock yarn that was missing, they actually sent me 3 skeins of sock yarn, so I ended up with 5 instead of the original 3 that I ordered, which was really cool. So let's dive into this, starting with that sock yarn. This is the Hobbii Family Happy Sock yarn. It is 210 meters, and it's 75% wool, 25% polyamide. This is the one that I got 5 of. It's kind of like a muted rainbow color, and I got 5, as I said before. 3 that I tried to order originally, plus 2 extra ones that ended up coming in the mail. I do not make socks, so these will not be going to socks. I don't know if anybody else is like that. I can't see the point in knitting socks because I personally wear out socks so quickly. My socks always have holes in them within like a couple weeks of owning them, so I don't understand spending the time on knitting them if they're just going to get holes in them. Maybe knitted socks are a little sturdier than my cheap Target ankle socks, so you'll have to let me know. But I thought those colors were beautiful. They will probably be used in a shawl, especially because now I have 5 of them, so that gives me quite a bit of yardage to work with. And this Happy Sock yarn can only be purchased with Hobbii points. It's not like something that you can get normally from their site. Next up, this is actually the cake that was missing. This is the Dahlia 100% cotton cake in color number 11. The only thing I don't like about Hobbii is they have names for their colors on the website, but on the ball bands they only say the color number. So unfortunately I don't know the name of this color. But you get 800 meters and it's a fine 2. And it is this lovely pink and kind of sage and olive greens. I've been really liking this color combination a lot. Anything like the like dusty pink and the sage greens I've been really into lately. Usually I really like dark green and black, but these colors have been quite appealing to me lately. Not quite sure why, but I thought this was the perfect cake for that. It'll probably get used to make a sample shawl for an upcoming pattern. Next thing I got, let's do another yarn cake, is the Cotton Kings Twirls, which is also 100% cotton. It has 800 meters. And this is also a lightweight 2, and this is color number 45, which is also a lighter dusty pink / purple and shades of white and gray. Also thought this was very pretty and kind of a like mature colorway, if that makes sense. It's not like bright rainbow, it's more like adult looking. I don't know if that made sense or not, but I'm really excited to use this colorway. I think it's really pretty. Next up, we have another Dahlia. This is color number 4, and it is another dusty pink, but going into more of a teal and dark purple. This one looked like a geode or something to me. It's a very much like jewel toned colors. Very pretty. This is almost what my wedding colors were. I used the dark teal, but it was more of a true burgundy than the like pinkish purple color, so it kind of reminds me of that. Here's a fun rainbow one next. This is the Havana yarn cake. It's 55% cotton, 45% acrylic. Has also 800 meters, and this is color number 4. This one is definitely more rainbow-ish, but it's still kind of like a muted, like jewel tone rainbow, because it's definitely brown in the center going into the red, then orange, and so on. I really like this one because it's not like solid bands of color. They're all like twisted together. I don't know if you can see that, maybe more on the edge. Like even in the blue you get flecks of like the yellow and red and teal. I thought this was a very cool yarn cake. Because I had other points, I ended up with 2 more Hobbii Happy Sock. This is in color number 6, which is like blues and greens, kind of yellow, more like muted rainbow colors. Very exciting. Don't know what I'll use those for. Maybe next time I do a Hobbii order, if I still have points, I'll get more in the same colorway so that I have a bigger stash of that. Okay, up next, I got a lot of the Mayflower cotton because it comes in packs by colorway. So I think this was the winter color pack. I don't quite remember, but I'll show each one individually. Each one is, let's talk about the stats on this. Each one is 100% cotton and about 170 meters. It's a 50-gram ball. So this is like a cream white color, and it came with a pale yellow. I'm not going to bother saying the numbers on all of these because I think they only come in the color packs. Maybe you can get them individually. I'm not sure. Kind of a light steely gray, blue, green. That one is close to the same color as my shirt. Maybe it's green. A slightly more bright minty green. Another like bluish gray color. A light sage. Almost light olive green. All of these are like blue, green, purple, gray. This one's definitely like a blue-gray steel color. A darker blue-gray. Charcoal, almost black. Purple. I forgot there's some pinks in here too. It's not just blues and greens. A light blue, like powder blue. A kind of plummy grayish purple. A dusty pink. And I think that's the last one, is like a lilac color. These ones I don't think I can get and hold them all up together, so I'll do like a couple at a time. So here's all the purples and grays. Those are all those colors. And then all of the blues, greens, yellows, like that. Really pretty colorways. I'll probably use those in a couple different projects and anything where I want like intentional clear stripes. Moving on. The next one I got, which I think might be a yarn they're discontinuing because I just looked on their site again today, and this one is in their like super clearance, like might not be coming back clearance. But this is the Atlas Liguria yarn. It is 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. Each skein is about 420 meters, and it is a fine number 1. I got it in color 2, I guess. It's like lime greens, turquoise, yellow, and like a pinkish purple. And I did purchase 2 of those. I really like this colorway. I'll be kind of sad if this yarn is disappearing forever because I think it's really, really pretty. I did get 2 of them hoping that that would be enough to make a shawl, but it will probably have to be a very lacy, like open work shawl for that to work, which is usually not quite my style. I like sturdier stitches, for lack of a better word, but I think this colorway is absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited to use it. Moving on, because I'm probably going to lose camera battery in a couple minutes. I got the Hobbii Dream color, which is 100% wool in color number 25. This is 400 meters. I got it in this like brown, green, orangey colorway. Really, really pretty. Definitely going to use that for a shawl as well. I got 2 packs of the rainbow cotton in the patterned set. So there's a bunch of multicolored ones in there. These are pretty little cotton yarns, probably 50 grams or less of each one. But I thought those were some fun colors to use and play with. The last couple things I have in here are 2 mystery bags from Hobbii. This was their acrylic mystery bag. I have looked at these already, so I've seen all of them, but I left them in the bag so that I knew which ones were from the mystery. I got 2 balls of Colorina, which is 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and I can't see the color number because it's all the way on the inside of the yarn tag, and I don't want to ruin the donut, but that's what they look like. They're like brown orange with a little bit of green in there. I also got it in this green and teal colorway from the same mystery bag. I do like that Hobbii puts their mystery bag things in pairs. That's kind of nice. Then I got 2 Hobbii Amigos. Amigo XL in color 53, which is like a plummy purple. This is a medium 4. Excuse me. And each one's 100 meters, so those are little guys. And I got regular Amigo in color 31, which is like a teal green. I think Amigo replaced an old yarn on Hobbii, so there's an old one that is the same name and Amigo is the replacement. Last mystery bag here. I got 2 Amigo Gigas. So Amigo comes in regular, XL, and Giga is really thick. And this is in color number 3. It is a bulky 5. That's kind of a fun color. It's like a very cool toned beige, almost gray. I also got Amigo Chunky. Oh, there's 4 of them. So Chunky is also a bulky 5, so I'm not sure what the difference is between the Chunky and the Giga. But this is in color 47. It's a nice light pink. And Amigo XL, which is a 4. So that's the same as the Amigo something. I don't even remember at this point, but this is a really hot pink, and this is color number 55. So lots of Amigo yarns to try out. And that is the end of my Hobbii haul, other than they always stick in free gifts. So I got some cable needles and a bottle for holding yarn needles and sewing needles, which is pretty cool. So that is it for the massive Hobbii yarn haul. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I can't wait to see you in the next one with some new projects, and I have a lot of yarn to go put away. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Leave your comments down below if you have guesses about my musical project. Bye, everyone.